I'm Tom Jordan, one of the organizers here. We have a great presentation today. Along with us is Charlie over here. Val's somewhere near the camera there. Casey's in the house. We're here. So let's see. For those of you who are new, this is a program for entrepreneurs with entrepreneurs. So we are here to hear a presentation. Actually, today's a refill on the Workspace Collective. So Zach and Adam are here. They're going to give us an update on where they've come from and where they've been and where they're headed after their first presentation. How long was that?
It's almost exactly 2 years.
2 years. Yeah, that's good. So the way this works, for those of you who are new, we're going to hear the presentation today, talk about what's going on at Workspace Collective, and then we're going to have a Q&A comment section. So one of us will walk around. If you have an idea, a comment, a question on how they're doing things that can help you, or things you're doing that can help them, raise your hand and we'll bring the microphone to you. Got to thank the folks at Kaufman Foundation. Kaufman Foundation is the organization that started 1 Million Cups and sponsors it throughout the country. So there's over 100 chapters, 100 groups just like us, and it's a community of entrepreneurs. It's designed to do presentations, not pitches. We're not here to sell you a product or anything. So usually on Wednesdays at around 9 o'clock, chapters get together, organizations get together, and have the same presentation with coffee. Speaking of coffee, the folks that put it together is Cinematique, Jed and his crew, right here at Cinematique, one of the best venues you can ever have. So if you have a presentation you want to put together for clients, neighborhood, whatever it might be, talk to Jed and his folks, and you can rent this location and have a great presentation. The folks who help pay for all this is Volusia County Economic Development. They take care of getting the coffee, paying for the coffee, and for the venue here. Riccardi's in the house. Where's Riccardi? He's at coffee. So he's at the bar, but that's not too early this morning. So Riccardi, you got anything you want to cover real quick? Give it a microphone.
Well, we just passed the deadline for our innovation challenge, which is a pitch competition. January 31st was the deadline, but you guys are definitely invited to attend. Yeah, you guys are invited to attend. I don't have the exact date, I'm sorry, but it will be at the Ocean Center. We do an annual business pitch and showcase competition where we have entrepreneurs throughout the county have a chance to pitch their business and win some cash prizes. And the cool part about the actual event is that we have dozens of showcase businesses that are going to have setups. We can go around and learn about their service, their businesses, and the whole idea is promoting entrepreneurship and businesses in Volusia County. So that's what we're working on now. Other than that, keep coming to 1MC and enjoy the resources.
Yeah.
Good. All right. We had a question. I had a question earlier. So if you applied, Riccardi, do you get a booth automatically, or how does that work? Do you know?
Yes. Once you apply to the competition, there'll be rounds of screenings and voting on who makes the semifinals. Those that don't make the actual final pitch have a chance to pitch, to showcase whether or not their idea got voted for the actual presentation.
Very cool.
We got to sign up.
Yep.
We got about 50 or so submissions.
Wow.
And normally about half of that actually make it to the next round. And then there'll be about 6. It's not a direct number, but last year there was about 6 to 8 semifinalists that when got to pitch live, and there were three prizes: 10,000, 5,000, and 2,500.
Cash. Yeah, there you go. Good, thank you. So see Riccardi if you have any more questions. So we have a couple of first timers here who don't want to be called on, but we're going to start with Ashley. Sam, just tell us who you are, what your business is.
Yes, so my name is Ashley Lamp, and I'm a florist. I own Best Life Designs, and we work out of Florida and Georgia, and mainly do events, stuff like that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Great job. You get swag. Anybody else first time? Tell us who you are, what your business is.
Yeah, hello everyone, I'm JP Hughes, I'm the owner of Booze Brew. We're a rare coffee marketplace online connecting specialty coffee providers with direct-to-consumer and also business-to-business clients.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Swag here. Who else? Hey.
I'm Hayden Rogers and I sell art.
Woohoo.
He's an artist. He's an artist.
This is also my son.
Great sense. Yeah. Jen posts up there all the time showing some of his really cool stuff. It's really neat, so go check it out online. Anybody else? I think that's it, just the
We
two.
got Score in the house.
Scores in the house, where? Oh, in the back. There they are.
Yay.
Stand up and at least tell us about who you are.
Yeah, I'm Jeff Zawolski. I've been here a few times and actually presented, but I'm with SCORE, a nonprofit organization that helps businesses, whether you're at the beginning of a business, middle of a business, whether it's business planning, trying to help you guys get all your documentation together, maybe if you're going to go to a bank and apply for a loan. And our services are free of charge. So again, nonprofit, SCORE's been around since the mid-1960s, and we have a core of 10,000 volunteers across the United States. So if you're looking for a certain expertise, and we don't have it within our chapter here in Volusia County, we can reach outside our own chapter and look for those resources.
I think she's new. She's new.
Very cool.
She's new.
Who's it right here?
Yeah, she's
Stand up, say hello.
Hi guys, I was actually invited today.
Nice.
And it's my first time.
Yay.
My name is Reham. I am a realtor, full-time notary, loan signing agent, MBA student, financial background, just happy to be part of the business community.
Nice.
Very cool.
First time? Is it your first time? Oh, man, sure to call somebody else.
We know everybody here.
Great job. Yeah. Very open. Yeah, speaking of SCORE, I was talking to a potential client the other day. She's opening a veterinary clinic, emergency animal hospital, and she's struggling with all the stuff I got to do. Oh my God, I don't know where to do this. I don't know how to do that. I said, find a 1 Million Cups chapter. Go meet them. Talk to SCORE. Track down the SCORE folks in town and talk to them because they've got tons of free information. And I said, go find a small business development center. It's all free. We're already taking care of it, so go use
That
those
guy's
free
new.
resources. Very cool. Hey, without further ado, I'm going to introduce Zach and Adam. They're going to come up here and tell us about what's going on at Workspace Collective. Man, give them a round. Oh, right here. Good to see you. Say hello.
Oh, okay.
I just haven't been here for 3 years, but
That was Dallas.
You're up, man. Let's give them a round of applause. All right.
Thanks, guys. Looking forward to this. Thanks, Val, for having us up again. This is the hottest coffee in town, by the way. The hottest coffee in town. So if you haven't gotten any, please hop back there and get it. But yeah, so this is our 2-year. It's almost to the day that last time Zach presented most of it, but that we started in Daytona Beach. This is our crew now. There are some kids in there. We do not have them as child labor yet. But that's our crew after our Christmas outing we did this year. We started Workspace Collective right at the beginning of 2020. So we started it right prior to COVID, which was a perfect time because we lost about 30% of our customers and we said, what are we doing with this? But it turned out that that was a beautiful thing for us and for the industry of co-working and shared office space. So we started in Ocala with a small 3,000 square foot building. We moved 2 years later. We added kind of our flagship in Ocala that's about 7,100 square feet. Had a lot of success there and said, hey, we're going to continue to do this in other markets inside of Florida. So I'll introduce, and Zach will come up later, but the reason that we started Workspace Collective, we come from a background of working with entrepreneurs, small businesses, medium-sized companies. And what we found over the years is that in our sales world, we had a great culture of people that allowed us to grow and be successful and build, the company throughout the years. And many of the companies we helped were out of business in a year or 2 years. A lot of reasons for that, but 50% of it is financial. It's getting to a point where they can have enough revenue to sustain while thinking of things like office space and printing and marketing and connecting with other people in the community. So we wanted a place where we could do that for people, create a really cool environment, bring local companies together, and then allow them to hopefully grow the business, almost like an incubator on steroids. That's kind of what we called it. So it was successful. It worked, and we decided to grow into Daytona Beach. We're at 132 West International Speedway, right there on International and Beach, and we've done well there. And I'll explain some of the fun we had in opening up in a new market from opening up in a market that knew us very well from Ocala. So we'll touch on that. We're really big as an ownership team. We came up with our mission statement, early on in the process with Workspace Collective. It's what we live by. It's what we talk about it weekly on our calls with our team. And I'm just going to read it real quick. At Workspace Collective, our mission is to go above and beyond to build connections and foster a positive, flexible, and creative environment. We embrace a growth mindset in all we do, creating a culture where integrity and excellence thrive. So with that, there's a lot in there, but mainly our goal with clients is to help them succeed. That's what we're here for. We're trying to get people to a point where they can be successful. And this is some of the results we've had here in Daytona. So obviously, very good results. We have Dakota Moore is our primary employee there. She is phenomenal, and she's really helped us build the brand out here in Daytona Beach, which has been awesome. All right, so kind of hit the why. I wanted to touch a little bit about what we do, but I want to do that through some examples of clients that we've helped. One of the biggest things that we provide, and it's a very cost-effective solution for a company that's getting going, is our virtual office product. So this allows a company to get established in a location, to be able to start to either receive mail for their business, to be able to get on some listings, to start their website, to file with Sunbiz, and in many cases get onto Google so that their business shows up when people search them. So really cool example. We had someone come to us within the first couple months of opening, and he was trying to get contracts. He's a contractor. His name's Joe Dirt. I don't know if anybody knows him. But he was trying to get a contract with the city of Daytona Beach, and they said, well, you can't do that. You're not local here. And he was from another city in Florida. So he said, well, hey, I'm going to start out. I'd like to get a desk here. I'm not going to use it a ton, but I need a desk, and I need a presence in Daytona Beach. So we did that for him, did all the paperwork that he needed. We even provided some additional paperwork he needed for the city. And sure enough, Joe Dirt won the contract with the city. Big contract for him. It took his business from a 1 employee to like a 10 employee overnight. So really, really cool story. That product that we sell is $75 per month. It's really effective, really affordable for people to get established. The second one there, meeting rooms. We do a ton of this, and this market in Daytona Beach has been tremendous for this versus Ocala. This is one of our guys, Casey Pryor, another really great review. He did training there. But we have done team meetings for, there's a ton of them. Chipotle, Starbucks, McDonald's, Raising Cane's, local practices, so doctors' offices, attorney firms. It's fully set up to be able to do 25 to 30 people with the technology to bring people in virtually. While people are there, we serve them coffee, tea. Coffee's not as hot as this, but it's good, I promise. And then, sodas, snacks, beverages. Dakota or one of the staff is there to support if they need help with any of the tech while they're there. So meeting rooms is a big thing that we do. And then obviously kind of the bread and butter of coworking is private offices, coworking, which is open space seating, so kind of like what we have here, but you're working, in conjunction around other people. We have a podcast studio that's very popular out here. We're running, I think, anywhere from 6 to 7 of those that run consistently each month. And then we do event space, so we can bring in, folks to do an event and use that entire bottom space at the office. So one thing with private offices that we've just done, and we've just started to sell these, is we reached pretty much capacity in our private office space. We have 25 spaces there on the bottom floor and the top floor. We also own the building next door, which, if you're familiar, has the yoga studio on the bottom floor. We also have now 11 offices up there, an additional conference room that are available to rent. So they are same amenities that you get with us at Workspace, still under all the flexible terms, so we can do as little as 30-day memberships. We can go 6 months, we can go a year, but you can get an office there, very affordable. It's kind of I'd call it the Workspace Lite version of Workspace, but a really nice option for people that need maybe a bigger space, but they don't want to pay as much to have the space on the other side. So, so that's exciting, because when we started, and I'm going to get into kind of the quick 2-year recap of what we learned. When we started, we heard a lot from 1 Million Cups folks. Of course, immediately we joined the chamber before we even got out here, and I would recommend anyone to make sure they're involved in the chamber and that they participate in the events as often as possible. We found 1 Million Cups early on, but it took, and we heard this from other business owners in the area, it's going to take 12 to 14 months for things to go. And man, that first year, we were like, what are we doing? You know, I mean, there was a lot of strategy talk. There was a lot of like, hey, what else can we do? You know, consistency is everything in business. It's everything in life and in relationships. But you've got to continue to be there and be consistent every week. And so that's what we did. At about the 13th month mark, we went from, you know, occupancy in like the 30 to 40 to 85, 90%. I mean, within a 3-month period. So for anyone that is getting started here, or has, you know, maybe just started, or is looking to expand here, give it time. Give it time. You know, that's consistency, success, the connections. So 1 Million Cups, the chamber, anything you can do in this local community to connect with others is going to pay big dividends. I mean, here in Daytona Beach, it's different from Ocala. The community, in my opinion, is friendlier than Ocala, which is great.
Yay.
Yes, I've always said that. It's bigger though. It's a bigger market. And at the beginning, I feel like it's a little harder to get in. But once you're in, it's a really tight-knit group of people that can really help you grow. So connections are big. We made a lot of pivots in the first year due to just what we found, which was, you know, in Ocala, and we knew there was going to be a difference. Ocala pricing versus Daytona pricing was different. I mean, we were talking about, we thought it was going to be about 10 to 15%. It was like 20 to 30%. We're seeing that is coming up, but we had to pivot our plans and our pricing in order to you know, to win in this market. So that was a big learning piece for us. I don't know if there was anything else that stuck out, but it was a fun. We learned more on this opening than we'll ever learn. So we are underway for our location in Sanford. So just contractor started literally this morning, which is exciting. So that one will be in downtown Sanford. It's a building past Hollerbacks, right on First in Sanford. That's going to be a really cool location as we get that one open. So I want to talk about this quick, and then I'll wrap it up. We talk about this a lot with our team, and I figured it'd be nice to share with the community here. So we're big on health and wellness inside of our employee group, but hopefully that spreads into our membership as well. And we talk a lot about something called the 5 factors of health, which are how you eat, how you sleep, how you train, how you think, and how you connect. And they're all very important. Try to do all those if we can, right? And there's a lot of people in here that support a lot of these. Connection is massive. And this is a study that was put out by the Surgeon General, and it said lack of social connection is the same as 15 cigarettes per day, which is crazy. I saw this stat and I'm like, this is crazy. So one thing that we try to do, and it's another thing that 1 Million Cups does and all the other things here locally that you can do to connect, is to bring people together. So if we have a new member or we have an event or anything going on, inside the space, we're really trying to connect people together. We're not forcing it. We're not saying, hey, you got to go network or you're here to work. But if we can see that someone's kind of new in the space or they haven't really met, we try to bring them here, try to get them involved with other folks and other members, and that human connection is very powerful. It's what we hear when we get feedback from clients that are happy, is that, hey, I really get this feeling when I come in there that I belong, and I'm at a place where I can work with people and grow my business and hopefully be successful. So and then this is just our timeline. Obviously, our goal at the short term here is that we're going to continue to grow into Florida, and it could go past that. The number we have, and we've had this for a bit, is 10, and we're looking to do that here in the next 4 to 5 years. We're doing that through exactly what we've been doing, which is purchasing the buildings, renovating them, getting them profitable, and then running on to the next one. It is very expensive to do that. I'm sure if anyone's tried it, they would know it's expensive. However, it's really rewarding. Sanford is on docket to be open in the summer, so July, August timeframe. What we've also started to do, and this is something that you all can help with as we look to get feedback from you all, is that we are starting to work with other operators that do what we do to partner together. So in that situation, we would come in and essentially purchase or figure out a partnership for a portion of that business, and then we will grow it that way. It's a lot. It's almost like interviewing or dating someone. You're trying to find someone that lives our values, that is doing it well, but also needs the support of a company that's got a little bit better SOPs and marketing and things like that we've been able to do. So that is an area that we've just started. We have our first partnership that is going to go live here in the first quarter, and that's pretty exciting. It will help us grow to get to that 10 a little bit quicker. And that's it. Lastly, we have, I wanted to invite everyone down today. We do waffles in the space every Wednesday. Zach or I do not make them because they would be horrible. But Dakota does them. They're excellent. These are free things we do throughout the weeks for our members. So we do waffles, we do energy bites, we do coffee happy hours, smoothies, things like that. But today it's Waffle Wednesday. Plenty of waffles there. If anyone wants to come by afterwards, we're offering, obviously, just anyone here in 1 million cups for today. Come by and you can work for free. Check us out. No, we're not going to say, come on, you got to join. I mean, it's just to come in and hang out and check out the space. We've got coffee, we've got espresso, we've got waffles and other things, snacks, etc. And we'd love to have you all out there. So, I just a big thank you to 1 Million Cups, and thank you to Lori and the Chamber. It's been, those have been the two most important things we've done here. Of course, we do a lot of online marketing and all the other things that you need to do to be successful. But man, the human connection here in this area has made the difference for us, and we really appreciate it. So thank you guys.
Man, great job, great presentation. What you said about Daytona is really true. I think we all have found that this is a relationship community. And you can get in, but it takes that period of time for us to get to know you and for the people to trust you, and then all of a sudden it just goes exponential, which is it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Once it happens. Let me ask you this. We'll bring the microphone around in a second here. It's such the product you're selling it's a competitive business. There are other places who do sort of the same thing, co-working space. How do you differentiate Workspace Collective when you're selling to a prospect? How do you differentiate yourselves from all the others that are out there?
Yeah, it's a great question. It kind of goes back to the mission statement of how we deliver what we're doing. I mean, if it's just an office, okay. I mean, how different is it going to be? It's about the care that we give that person when they're signing up. It's about the little things, it's about going above and beyond for them. So if they have a situation we see this a lot, hey, I need something that tells this, this company that I'm trying to do work for that I have this this location, that I'm at this address, and I don't know how many documents that we've created in order to suffice things that people need in order to be able to grow their business, but that's an example of just the little things that we do, and it comes down to our staff. Our people, we interviewed like 40 people here in Daytona before we found Dakota. It was tough, but she's amazing, and that, you know, having someone there, because we're not there all the time, we're trying to grow the business and not be in it as often, but we love the members, and without Dakota and without the rest of our staff, we're not able to handhold people along the way of getting that business going. And you know, we've had such great, it creates its own environment of great people when you start it with a great community manager. And so you know, that and just flexibility is big for us. So a lot of our competitors, you're kind of set on having to do a certain term, 6 months, a year. We do a ton of just 30-day memberships. Of our whole, you know, client portfolio, 75% are all month to month. Some people say that's a little scary, right? You got all this space, and what if everyone left the next day? Well, the truth is they don't, and if you lose one, you know, we're gaining two. So, but that flexibility, we're always willing to customize a plan for someone based on their needs. We have plans, but man, we probably have 100 different plans that we do. And a lot of people say, well, that's not efficient, that's not effective. We're like, well, we wanted to help the client out, and we'll do anything to try to accommodate that.
Yeah, let me piggyback on that real quick. The thing that makes us the biggest difference is our community. We focus on the community in our space. Our industry is full of a lot of businesses that will start a co-working space, build the shell, and then they don't put a lot of time into their members. There's nothing wrong with that model, but when we open the space, you know, again, our background is helping small business owners with compliance and succeeding. We really wanted to help people with relationships, with introductions, with whatever we can do to help them be more successful. And that really has sort of resonated with our members the longer they spend time in the space. They're not just walking in and seeing strange faces. We're facilitating introductions with other members. We're facilitating, hey, I want to meet Lori at the chamber. Great, let's make that introduction. Hey, I want to meet the mayor of Ocala. Great, let's make that introduction. And what we have found visiting other co-working spaces is a lot of times that piece is missing. And that's really, again, what we chose to separate ourselves from our competition.
Val.
Adam, Zach, congratulations on your third location. I've been rooting for you guys since day one. Obviously, apart from Zach and yourself, who else is in your leadership team as you scale your business? And do you have any mentorship that you guys lean on as you strategize and build this thing out?
And thank you for that, Val. Yes, so the beauty and the brains behind the operation is our wives. His wife Cassandra, and my wife Ashley. And we should have mentioned them at the front end, but they said, "Hey, you do 1 million cups." We've always been
Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yeah, but yeah, it's what's really cool about the partnership. Zach and I worked together for geez, like 18 years in our prior roles, and we knew each other really well, and we knew he knew Ashley and I knew Cassandra, but we all have strengths. Like it's very unique to find a team like this. I built teams for years. I mean, I built teams with 120 employees and went crazy, but the dynamic that we have, it just worked out this way that we each really have our niche and our thing that makes us kind of thrive and our thing that helps the team the most. And so that dynamic is what's helped us a lot, because it's not easy. It's not easy to every day, we work all day and then we go home and we're talking about work and then we're talking about work but we're coming up with ideas. I mean, we communicate like it's going out of style. I mean, communication is key, especially with multiple owners, and all the things that we're trying to do. And so, I mean, we have a bi-weekly owners call that we keep on the calendar, and we just consistently do it, because if you don't, things just fall off. We've had times when we were small that it didn't matter as much. As we've grown, it's become more important to lean on the team at all times.
Val, the other thing I'll say is when we opened Daytona, we were fortunate enough to be able to promote one of our community managers to like an area manager role. which was exciting for us, right? Because we're a small business, we're growing, and being able to promote someone to sort of handle more of the day-to-day in the different locations that would allow the four of us to focus more on growth was a big part of what you were asking as well. And you know, again, the cool thing about co-working is the community that you build inside. So we're seeing people start with one employee, grow to 4, grow to 10, grow to 30, and eventually leave the space because they've bought their own building or whatever. So as far as mentorship is concerned, you know, we are learning from our members as much as they're learning sort of from each other and from us as well. So it's awesome to be surrounded with people that are going through similar growing pains because you can bounce ideas off of each other sort of real time. And that therein lies the strength of what we provide is the community focus.
Hey, congratulations on the success.
Thank you.
You mentioned that you purchased all the spaces that you set these up in?
We do, and it, from the start we leased at the beginning, and leasing works in the right market with the right lease rates. Owning in this industry, in our opinion, is a lot more profitable. And long term, you have an asset there that at some point you can do something with. So yeah, we are not that we would turn away a lease. It would just have to be very, very strong. And we typically are always gonna buy.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
Lori McMullen with your Daytona Regional Chamber. And hey, I'm gonna have to try to get that connectivity Surgeon General stat in my sales pitch for membership. That was a good one. Just wanted to brag on you all. You know, we love everything about you. In particular, we're smitten with Dakota.
Yes.
Dakota was a chair of our Business Connections group and is still very active in it, stepped forward when we really needed to fill a void, and she did it with such grace. People are afraid to come behind her. She set the bar. But she talks about your 5 points anytime she has a feature presentation, and you can see everyone around that table just wanting to know more how they can incorporate that kind of culture into what they do.
Yes.
And it's the little things they do. Little things that mean a lot.
Yes.
We operate the Bike Week Welcome Center tents, and it's now in our parking lot, but when we were kind of in transition to our building, we were on a little parcel next door to them, no bathrooms. So you were gracious to allow our volunteers and to come in, including me, to come in and probably grab a cup of coffee or whatnot too, but to use your restrooms, get out of the heat or the cold, whatever it might have been. So thank you so much for that.
Of course. Absolutely. And I appreciate you saying that, Lori, because, you know, we, seeing Dakota, again, Adam told you, we probably interviewed 40 people to find the right fit for our culture and what we were trying to go to. And to see, you remember, I met when I first came to that networking group with Dakota for her very first meeting, she was so scared to talk. And to kind of see her progression, just working with us to where she is today, where she was leading that group for a long time, has been awesome.
Hi, how you guys doing? Nice presentation you guys made today.
Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Daniel Modiano, and I'm a business contractor connects. And one component of my business is hybrid networking with video. And one of the things I need in order to do that is a venue, and your opportunity comes to mind, of course, because it sounds like they can really play well with what I'm trying to do. I'm very passionate about the notion of introducing video when we network, because, for example, the message you just delivered today, we capture that on a video and share that on the internet, and we go far beyond this room, you know, and I think that's something that can be done, and that adds value to the network that we do. Do you think this could be a collaboration between us?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, I mean, we have. I'd like to learn more about it. It sounds cool. Obviously, I don't do any of our video because it would be sad. But we'd be happy to talk and collaborate. Just come on by for a waffle. Yeah, come on by today, and we'll chat about it. We can sit in the conference room and kind of see your ideas. And we're always happy to. We entertain all kinds of ideas that are around partnership and community. I mean, we just do. And sometimes it gets tough because, we get sold a lot of things too, and we realize that, hey, we're open, we spend a lot of time doing those kind of things, but ultimately, like, our goal is to help, so we'd be happy to talk to you about it.
I think let's stop by for the one for Wednesday. It's gonna be immediately after this presentation.
Yep, like straight down the street and hang a left, and we're first building on the right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi guys, Heath of Fractional Unit Marketing. I'm a user of your mail service. It's wonderful.
Thank you very much.
I'm very grateful for you guys. So when looking at Ocala to Daytona to Sanford, it feels like a geographical strategy for expansion. You mentioned you're going to have 10 units. I'm really interested to understand what's your formula for determining your service obtainable market in any area before you put it, because obviously you've got Ripple down the road here and you're 2 blocks up the road. How do you assess something for the next 7 locations before you make the commitment to go and buy real estate?
Yep, that's great. We look at population and the market factors there, just median income, things like that. So typically our niche is mid-market, is where we want to serve and help. And so what we've tried to do and what we're continuing to try to do, and I'll explain some of the difficulties in that, but is to be in a market like a Daytona Beach or downtown Sanford where you have walkability, so where members can truly go grab a coffee, go grab lunch, happy hour after work, that type of place that you don't have to necessarily commute to if you live close. And then, so we look at those factors, then we look at the cost of the real estate is really where things get difficult because of where prices have gone. We really were, the first growth market before Daytona Beach was Gainesville. And we looked at a lot of buildings, we tried to secure some buildings. The pricing was 3 times what we paid here in Daytona Beach. So what we would have to charge our customers was just going to be, it was going to be too difficult. So yeah, we started with the demographics of the population and then the income. And then we look at the building and the building size. And one of the biggest factors we also look at is parking. And believe it or not, that one is really hard. We've had locations that would have worked for us, but they just didn't have parking. There wasn't ample parking. And when you run into that scenario, a lot of our larger counterparts that are in like downtown Orlando or Jacksonville or Miami or Fort Lauderdale or Tampa, sometimes people are paying more for their parking for their car than the membership costs. And that just doesn't sit well with us and helping someone as a small business. So continuing, hopefully to answer a little bit more, Heath, is the Central Florida and surrounding. So we're not looking to get really south of Melbourne at the moment. So really our kind of net is Melbourne, across to Lakeland, into some outskirts of Tampa, and then up into Jacksonville, and then down the coast back around. So that's really our current footprint of where we're talking to other operators, and then where we're looking for our space.
And the one thing I'll add to that is you had mentioned the competition, and for me, kind of been in sales forever, competition is not a bad thing, right? It's okay that they're right down the street. There's always going to be something that they focus on, maybe that we focus on something different. And that's why you see a lot of restaurants will sort of center around each other, right? Because if they're there, you're bringing more people to the space in general. So we don't mind the competition. We know what we focus on. We actually have a good relationship with that operator over there. When we're looking at space, the one thing we're not looking at is necessarily what's the competition in the area. It's much more about the building. And again, we don't want to open in downtown Orlando. We don't want to open in downtown Tampa. Those operators do a great job in those markets, but they're not focused on community. And that's really what we hang our hat on.
Yeah, and one other cool thing that we did not know getting into co-working is that the community of owners is very positive and nice. I mean, I had a conversation with an operator in Jacksonville last week and connected out of the blue on his phone, and we talked for 2 hours. And trading ideas and tips and things that are working for us and things that are working for him. That's the message we get with primarily any of the operators that we've spoken to. So here locally, we have great relationships with everybody. In Ocala, and then anyone that we've talked to, it's pretty cool that there's an industry where not everybody's like holding on to what they're doing. It's like, hey, here's what we're doing, and here's what works, because everyone kind of has their niche, is what we found.
Can I just follow up a question?
Sure, yeah.
How much of,
And so how much of your the demand that you're meeting is filling latent demand, and how much of it is stimulating new demand? What I mean by that is how many of the people coming into your place are first timers who see it and say, oh, this is a good idea, I'm going to do this, and how many of it is, oh, we needed this, we were looking for?
Yeah, that's a really good question. When we first opened, I'll tell you it was 90% new, and most people, this was Ocala, so take it for Ocala, but it was educating them on what we did and what it was. Coworking was not a thing that a lot of people had. I'd say for our startup and like smaller companies, which is primarily what we do, it's a lot of first time, or hey, I've been in a space, I was at a WeWork, in New York, and now I'm down here, and so that's how I knew to look up coworking. We do serve a lot of larger company, like enterprise clients, and what's happened after COVID was larger companies said, hey, we're ditching the big office and we're gonna give you an allowance or a stipend to use at local co-working spaces. So they already know they have a need, and it's just finding which one and getting aligned with something that'll work for their employees and giving them those options.
Very cool. Anybody else? Any other questions? Right here. Joe's gonna jump in.
Joe with Helping. Just to circle back to the extra that you provide versus your competitors, do you find that cuts into your profits, and are you able to stay competitive with their prices? Because it does seem like a lot than just renting space, and there's your space, fine.
It does. I mean, it's definitely something we look at, and I mean, just what we spend in, sodas, snacks, coffee, beverages, like just the food type items that we do. Between the 3 locations, we spend $2,000 a month on that, which I'm like, why do we, but it's different. You go to other spaces, they don't do it. Is that really something we're gonna say, hey, we're not gonna provide because we wanna save and make a couple more dollars? We'd rather grow the membership base. I mean, we started, and we got our first customer in Ocala right at the beginning of, end of 1920 start. And now we have over 1,000 customers, and it, if you go above and beyond to do the little things, profit's still there. I mean, we grow the revenue. Yeah, we could tweak some of those things, but we're not willing to like cut off the service in a way to save some money at this point. It's a great thing. We look at it, we're like, man, we could charge for coffee. Regis charges all this crazy amount of money for this and for this. And we came from a corporate background where we were limited by what others, even though we were growing the business tremendously, we were very successful there. When we wanted to do more things to grow the business, it was like, we can't spend the money there. No, you can't do that. Oh, that's going to be a legal issue. Oh, that's going to be this. We don't have any of that, so we're like, let's let it rip, and let's give people more than they think they're going to get. I mean, just having one of the things we lose so much money on. My wife's kind of our CFO. We have beer on tap in all the spaces, and some people don't want to touch the beer, never touch the beer, don't drink the beer, but it's just something there. If there's one member that comes in and is like, cool, I finished my work for the day and I grabbed a beer and it was really cool, and they tell someone else about that experience, then that's why we do it. And we know there's a lot of things we do that probably a lot of other spaces do, but that's another one of our competitive advantages.
Thank you for that. Love your presentation.
Thank you, appreciate it.
That's one of those amenities, the soft amenities that cost, but it keeps the churn down.
Correct.
People just,
retention, yeah.
And then month to month, that's why they keep just saying, I'll do another 30 days, another 30 days.
Correct.
Absolutely. Anybody else? Good question. I don't know. Fine.
For capital stacks, do you guys purchase all cash, or do you guys use financing for your acquisition?
It depends on the situation. We've done both. You guys had asked about it before. We're not against leasing the space. Obviously, the idea is to buy the building, depending on what lease terms we can get. What financing terms we can get. Sort of what our cash situation is. We sort of make that determination. The goal when we started Workspace was to get to 10, and we leased our first 2 locations in Ocala. We were able to open back-to-back years, basically. When we started buying buildings, it sounds great, it's a great idea, but the capital needed to buy the building, renovate it, and open is tremendous. And so it has slowed our growth. Now, we're more profitable, we own the building, so it's great, but it's slow. So that's why we decided, we're gonna start reaching out to some of these other operators around the state and see if they need help and see if they want to partner, if they like what we're doing, so we can now do some acquisitions. So we've done some acquisitions. Well, we're about to close our first one, and we're in talks with like 3 other operators now to kind of come under the Workspace brand, basically umbrella, and we can structure those deals sort of any way we want. Moving forward, we would lease. Our industry is so hard to lease, and we've sort of learned that the hard way in Ocala is you lease a building, you put all this money into retrofit it the way you need, and your first lease term might be great, but your second lease term, they know you're not going to leave, so you're kind of at the mercy of whatever the landlord decides they want to do. And so it has to be the right relationship to be able to do that. Ultimately, we're profitable in Ocala, which is nice because we have a really good brand, but if you asked either one of us, we wish we would have bought those buildings. You know what I mean? But again, it comes back to the same thing: is the money issue? Because it's expensive.
Did you know that SBA approves that sort of business model for acquisitions of other companies? And have you ever looked at acquiring other companies?
Yeah. We actually have a really healthy relationship with the SBA. We haven't had to use them for financing yet, but we've gone down the term many times with them, and so they are great to work with. Just needs to be the right fit.
Right. I definitely appreciate you.
Of course.
Yeah, great questions. Cool. Anybody else? Final call. All right. Hey, one of the things we always ask in 1 Million Cups is the final question, which is, besides inviting us all and everybody else to Waffle Wednesday, what's the one thing that 1MC community can do for you when we leave here?
Yeah, I continue to spread the word. Like I said, the support has been awesome here. And but yeah, if you talk, someone starting up a company that just needs to get the foundation of an address and be able to start to grow. That's a really we love kind of my wife calls them the baby entrepreneur, like someone that's just getting started. Like we'd love to help folks get things set up. We even help people with Sunbiz and the entity structure and getting things going like that. So if you're talking to folks like that in your travels, send them our way. Have someone, we do, for folks that have never been to the space, we do the first day pass for free. So it's typically $25 to work in there for the day. We do a free day pass. So have them come on by, meet Dakota, meet one of us, and we'll give them a tour, let them see the space, and that would be appreciated.
And the one thing I'll jump on that quick story. Yesterday, we got a call in Ocala from a lady setting up a business and didn't want to use her home address on Sundays, right? So she's like, hey, I understand you guys do virtual mail. I'd like to get set up so I can use your address when I'm registering with the IRS and Sunbiz. That's huge, right? Now, people will use P.O. boxes or maybe a UPS address, but you can't use that address on Google My Business. And with today's crazies, you don't want to have your home address anywhere online. So it's a huge advantage. And for the pricing, I think those packages will start at $75. You can have a meeting room hour, and you can have use our address for Google, for Sunbiz, for IRS, and we register you with the Postal Service. So there's a lot of value there.
Good job. Great.
Thank you.
Jack Adams from Workspace Collective. We're going to bring up the lights. We'll be here next Wednesday. Don't forget, 9 o'clock. We're going to bring up the lights, and everybody's coming up to